How dare I be on time with that, right? How dare we be on time? So we are live here. So thank you once again to DBDS for coming on the show. I really, really appreciate it.
Yes.
You guys coming back and joining us. Thank you so much. So I want to, first of all, give the apologies to Miss Gianni. I want to apologize publicly for everyone to see. I did not mean to exclude anyone. So we love you, Miss Gianni. So.
Hey, G.
Shout out to my sister Gianni. Shout out.
Hey, Gianni. Well, sorry we didn't have you.
We got Gianni, mommy, and she is so fly too. Next time.
She's beautiful. Next time.
We will definitely have to have you guys back and make sure that she's on the show. So I apologize once again.
Absolutely.
Blame the idiot with the bald head there. So it's all
it's always the guy with the bald head.
It's always the guy with the bald head. When in doubt, blame the black guy with the bald head.
Oh, come on now, damn.
So Ish, what's up? How you doing?
I'm here. I'm feeling fabulous. I'm just so grateful that the season is changing. It's getting a little warmer out. I'm ready to get out there and see what I can do that's COVID friendly, if you know what I'm saying. So I'm ready just to get out there and just.
I don't know what you're saying.
You don't know what I'm saying? Like being outside, doing outside, outdoorsy things. Maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were talking about messy entanglement type of things.
Oh no!
Right, the end of cuffing season, you mean?
Well, that's what we're talking about. The end of season.
I know. I'm just.
That's what I was saying. You just like you know what you're saying.
No. Don't you know no good? No, I'm just trying to keep a nice momentum, a nice pace going. Being safe out here. I just happened right before we were live. I just happened to catch the Red Table Talk with Bobby Brown up here talking. So I was, getting involved with that interview that they had with him, which seemed to be very good. He's in a good place, so I was glad to see that. He has a supportive wife, and they're both dealing with grieving. So that was interesting, especially at a time like this because. There's a lot going on in the world, as you already know. But more importantly, with our young people, there is an epidemic with the cocaine, fentanyl use, and all that kind of stuff. And that's something that Bobby Brown Jr. Had passed away from. Not a recreational user, but, experimenting and then died, So it's being laced out there. It's like a epidemic for the young people. And I just wanted to make sure that I tuned into that to kind of get some insight of what he was going through as a parent, dealing with substance abuse himself, but also having children that have dealt with that. So I checked that out, and my day's been good. It's been cool.
Good.
Hey.
So I guess we keep on with the theme there. Was substance abuse here. We lost a good brother, DMX.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And has anyone see the interview he gave with someone, and he talked about how he was 14 years old. Someone had introduced him to weed for the first time, and they had laced it with crack, and he was hooked ever since. Yeah. Anyone else see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
I watched that.
That was heartbreak. I'd never seen it until he went through this whole thing happened with him, and. So, Brother Mel, what's your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's very unfortunate. We did a tribute to him on our show this past Sunday. So if you guys missed it, make sure you check it out. DBDS Live. The thing is, man, we live, I hate to say this, but I have to keep it 100. We live in such a corroded society. Like the majority of our society don't have any morality to distinguish what is good and what is bad. It's almost as if anything is acceptable. Oh, you smoke this, then you're cool, or you drink this, you're cool, or just everything. There's no boundary line set. You do the WAP. You advertise WAP. It's cool. Like society has become very, very corroded, and that's that man. He's been through a lot, and I know God is taking care of him, and
Yes.
you know, that's how I feel about it. It was an emotional week for me because I
Yeah.
was such a huge fan of his music, coming from that generation.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I can remember working, and we had these little substations called precincts out, and one of his songs came on. It was a brand new song. It was like 1997 or something like that.
Mm.
And I can remember the whole block, and somebody's playing from the car, the whole block was like partying and stuff. And here I am in uniform. I'm like, this is a hot song.
Partying behind the siren.
I'm trying not to, like, yo, but it was a hot song. I forget which one it was. But I was like, man, this dude, man. So,
Scott described him as God's poet, and I was like, yep, pretty much.
Yeah.
He was definitely God's poet. He was a musical rap genius, lyrically, he definitely had his own style. No one could really compare to him. You know what I mean? He was unique, and it was because he had a story, he had a testimony, and he had no problem sharing about his life. One thing about him,
Yeah, absolutely. And so in the house here we have Sister Nicole, aka Supermodel, aka I don't even know what else to call you. What's going on, Sister Nicole?
Fabulous is good. I mean,
just call me Fabulous.
Fly queen, hey. Yes.
Be out here and stay positive. I definitely had some heartbreak behind the DMX. Mel and I put together, like I said, like Mel said, we put together a tribute to him, which was really hard going through video clips and voiceovers and hearing what he had to say. I actually sent it to you in the chat. If you guys want to, if you're able to load it. He has this clip from I think it was February this year where he says, if I were to drop dead today, my final thought would be I had a good life. And that is just so heartbreaking to me. It's like, it's almost like he knew it was coming. So much pain we have in our lives, but he was able to turn it into something beautiful, something memorable. Like his memory and his music will live on for all eternity,
Yeah, definitely.
All right,
I think he was drink chants when he said that with Nori. That I think that was one of the last interviews he did. And when I heard that, Nicole, it's so funny you bring that up. I just was like, you would think that what he'd been through, he would be like, most people, I had a hard life or whatever. He really saw the present, the here and now, and was grateful. That he went through and was humble, that he went through what he went through because it made him into the man that he was. You know what I mean? So that statement was very, very powerful because when you know what a person has been through, and then for them to be like, you know what, I had a great life. You're like looking at them like, hey.
Yeah, grateful and not bitter or angry or hateful.
You gotta respect that. Yeah.
I'm trying to get to see if I can play this here.
It's like the whole imperfection. That's the video that Nicole put together, and
I don't know if you guys can hear this.
So emotional.
Is the sound coming through?
No, we don't hear it. I would love to hear this.
Yeah, you got to hear the sound.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to try because it's got to be on. I got to do it some other time, so I apologize. So I'll try to get that loaded up.
We can share it on the page or something.
Yeah, we're definitely sharing on the page.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yes.
All right. So, man, yeah, that really gets me going. Then.
I know, DMX.
Right.
Yeah.
Now we got to jump into more comical type of stuff.
Now let's talk about monogamy. Hey.
So it's the end of cuffing season here. And,
oh man.
So we had you guys on last time. We were talking about that, and people just kind of wrapping up and booing up for the season and all that kind of crazy stuff. And now people want to kick each other out and try to get back to trying to live in and being free and all this kind of stuff. So Aisha and I were talking and just trying to say, hey, you know what? Is it natural and normal for people to just kind of be in a one single family household relationship, one person, one man, one woman type of thing? I want to get your guys' opinion about that. So Why don't we start with you, Brother Mel? What's your thoughts about it?
Yeah.
Can we?
I mean,
should we do it?
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. I mean, and this is gonna just really kill all the myth because I know a lot of brothers just see it from a different perspective. But I feel like when you have that one person and she's loyal, she's dedicated to you. I mean, it comes to the point that when you reach a certain age or a certain maturity level, that you prefer quality over quantity, you know, because that one person, it's like you're still getting to know them little by little, bits and pieces of them every day. And a lot of people just think once you gravitate towards a relationship or I win the girl, that is it. I don't have to put no more work in. No, you still have to put that same energy that you put in when you first met her and you guys became one union. So I think a large part of it that a lot of people feel like they have to gravitate or have more than just one woman out there. I still think they have that mindset of valuing, from a man's perspective, valuing sex above everything else. You know, and when you put sex above everything else, of course you're gonna want to smash chocolate chip cookies over there and smash chocolate chip cookies over there. But the thing is that when you get a certain age, like I said, I'd rather have one quality woman than 10 chicken heads, you know? And that one quality woman is the one that spiritually feeds your soul, mentally feeds your soul, emotionally feeds your soul. And it's almost as if you have a best friend and a lover locked into a contract for the rest of your life. Like, what person won't want that? So that's my whole mindset when I challenge brothers out there. Plus, you don't have to worry about diseases from other people. You don't have to worry about sexually transmitted energy. You don't have to worry about juggling different emotions. I mean, if you can't handle one woman, what makes you think you can handle other women out there? You know? So it's a peace of mind from my perspective.
All right. Brother Mel's holding it down.
Brother Mel values his peace. Brother Mel. Hey now. I like that. The emphasis on valuing your peace and the benefit, you know, from just being able to have that divine connection with one person and how magnificent it could be, you know. And I think the struggle nowadays is that people have a hard time finding that one person to connect with. And I think it could be for various reasons. One reason you kind of mentioned so eloquently is that people value sex. And when they value sex, they into them chocolate chip cookies. There's all those different types of chocolate chip cookies with the M&Ms.
Right.
They might have M&M clusters. They might have walnuts in them, whatever. You know, so I had to break it deep with the chocolate chip cookies. You see what I'm saying?
You're making me hungry, Aisha.
So yeah, it depends on what you value. I mean, that's my spill.
What is the representation of the walnuts? What is that? Does that mean something?
Variety, Captain Hunter. Is that like a variety?
A plethora.
Plethora.
Well, I mean, you know, just I'll let Nicole say what her spills on it though, but there's pretty much like just 3 different levels, I think, when it comes from the man's perspective. The first level is when a man actually is sexually active for the first time. You know, at that point, he has 2 things that's on his mind: how to get more sisters and how to get better sisters. So that's the first phase. The second phase is when the brother gets more experience. He has more of effective technique out there, and he try to get as many notches underneath his belt. You know, he try to smash as much as he can during that time frame. And those are the kind of brothers that have sex as the primary focus. Compare, you know, everything else is secondary. The loyalty, the dedication, all that is really secondary subconsciously, but sex is the most important prime thing. And then the last phase is when a player be like, hey, I just hang up my jersey. You know, I want somebody that's going to be there for me. That's when the brother be like, hey, I prefer quality over quantity any day of the week. You know, I prefer like that one woman that's very loyal. Like, God forbid I have a heart attack and she's there with me. You know what I'm saying? God forbid if I'm having a hard time running my business, she's there to uplift me, encourage me. When a brother reached that stage, that maturity phase, it's such an amazing, beautiful feeling. when he has the right woman in his corner.
All right.
A phase. That's a phase. Whew, I felt that.
You broke it down with the academics. The academic.
Yes.
Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you.
I definitely agree with Mel, but I think that what Mel's talking about and what we agree with and what we talk about on our show is that's a mature man with a, experience and a mindset, emotionally ready to commit to someone. When you talk about monogamy, though, you have to think about culturally, is it in their culture to be monogamous or just have one woman? What kind of childhood did they have growing up? What kind of baggage do they have? Who hurt them? I feel like a lot of people, not just men, but women too, will get into, we don't want to be hurt again. So maybe we'll just make the relationship superficial and temporary because we're afraid to move forward. So I think emotional stability and knowing who you are and what you want feeds into that monogamy too.
I think that is very, very profound, and that's kind of the case and the place that I wanted to talk about, or just for me, is that we're talking about, is it natural, is it normal, or are we socialized to be this? Is it biologically determined? And so yeah, Coco's saying that Mel's dropping gems tonight. Yeah. We don't have the bomb dropping thing. I'm sorry.
You gotta check him out on his podcast on Sunday. So
absolutely.
Thank you.
DBDS live.
Yep.
2 p.m.
Yes.
Eastern time.
So
DBDS live.
So I want to get so let's talk about this. Nicole already brought it up. I want to get Mel and Aisha's take on this as far as is it natural? I mean, okay, we're talking about, and I agree with everything that you guys said about a mature woman or mature man. I mean, I know we're talking about men, but eventually I'm going to talk about women too, because women are now trying to do the same thing that guys are doing and all this kind of crazy stuff. So is it something that we're just doing as far as part of Western culture, or is it something that as Nicole was saying, is you've been raised in this because of your culture, because of religion, or your upbringing? Is this something we've seen our whole lives, or is that even natural? Is it normal? Is it natural and normal and biologically determined that this is the way we should be? What's your thoughts about that, Aisha?
I just think that the way that most are groomed, they're not really groomed on how to deal with sexuality. You know what I mean? And just the physicality of just being a man or a woman. We're not taught how to date. Certain cultures may be like strategic or into that, but I feel like most cultures I have been exposed to, people are not taught how to date and how to court and how to deal with those emotions and feelings that kind of just come up all of a sudden once we hit puberty. So when we hit puberty, then it just happens. We start dating, we start engaging, we start getting to know the opposite sex. And as far as if it's a natural thing, I think it's a natural thing to want to be attracted to people, maybe many different people at one time, but it's how you deal with that. Some people can have like a high risk or a high sensation of to be promiscuous. Like it's like every person that they see that they got this physical thing with, and if the person gives it back to them, they're going to jump right into it. You know what I mean? And I think that's where the confusion and patterns start to develop as far as how you deal with those sensations, those hormones and emotions. And I think that when we're young, we're really not really taught how to deal with that, and that's why you become older, seasoned, mature, as Mel was describing. You start wanting a different pattern in your life. So if it's natural to be attracted to the opposite sex, multiple people at one time, I think men and women can do that. But I think it's what you do with that. How do you respect your body? How do you look at yourself? And if you didn't have early on messages on what your body is and how important it is to caretake for it, to appreciate your tempo and things like that, and you just kind of just went out there and went with your raging hormones, then yeah, you have a tendency to have patterns, you know, and it's not until you gain like a self-awareness that you have a desire to want to change or kind of just move differently in relationships. But a lot of times that comes with experience. So yes, it could be a wonderful thing to want to, you know, mate with different people or see different people or even see one person. But it's all ultimately how you deal with it, how you respect your body, and how you respect others. Because in the midst of all of that, it could be a lot of messy confusion. And what happens is that you start to create ill feelings with other people of the opposite sex if you're dealing with the opposite sex. So are you hurting people? That's what I'm saying. Are you being transparent? Are you being honest, you know, with your behavior pattern? You know, some people, I don't think they really learn until later on in life, like, oh, I got a tendency to be like that. And then sometimes when they get the awareness, they don't even want to accept it. They may acknowledge it, but accept it with change is different. If you feel there's a need to change. Some people may be like, nah, this is me, this is how I roll, and this is what it is. But they have to get to that point to say that, either take me or leave me. Before then, there's been probably a lot of collateral damage that has been done. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, we all will be held accountable for something. And so humanity is what comes into play too, and respect, and you know, Mel mentioned earlier, loyalty. You know, all these different things come into having healthy relations. So that's my spill. You know, I don't want to be up here preaching.
I really wish you did have the fire.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna just kind of let you just preach there. Okay, you're taking an offering or something after.
And the church say amen.
I'm sorry, I was in the
church say amen.
He was on a roll there. So Michelle says, yeah, respect your body. Yeah. So how do we go about that, right? So I mean, so I think Nicole and I were saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Nicole and I were saying there is something in us. Or even Aisha was agreeing, there is something in us that says we don't really want to do this, but you have to fight against that. How would you suggest fighting against that now? How would you as a man fight against these natural urges when you see a beautiful woman walk down the street and you trying not to turn your head because you know that you can feel that slap from your wife is going to come. You know it's going to come. Don't you turn around and look at her? How do you deal with that, brother?
Listen, I'm going to keep it 100. Like,
I just look.
She knows, you know. See, our philosophy in the way. Yes, hey, hello, baby. Our whole philosophy.
She like,
way we deal with our relationship is. Well, the way we deal with it, which is me and my wife, we're very free in our relationship. Like, we have this interdependent type of way of thinking of how we go about things. Like, if a fly woman walk past me, she will even be like, "Hey, babe, she's a very beautiful woman." And I look and I'll be like, yeah, like she knows
I hadn't noticed.
Yeah, you know, but that's human nature though. Like, cause me and her, we understand within our relationship, we understand the aspects that true love is freedom. You know, she knows what kind of person I am. She knows, you know, that I have high integrity. I know what kind of woman she is. She has high integrity. So she never has to think twice that if I see a beautiful woman and I will compliment her, be like, she's a very classy, intelligent, beautiful woman. It won't bother her because she's very secure and she know what kind of brother I am. And I think that's a reason why a lot of people, you know, get into these dysfunctional relationships, because they kind of have to force or persuade that person to make them feel a certain way on how to treat them. Mm-hmm. But when you're with the right person and you have the true love, which is freedom, that you know that person with or without them is not going to do anything to overstep those boundaries, then it's perfectly fine. Like, my wife knows that I have conversations with women in the inbox about relationship issues and I help them with. She knows that sometimes, like, if I go out and I have, I have to meet up with a client, I'm going to meet up with them, but she trusts me. And I think that's what a lot of people miss. Like, trust is freedom, you know? And if you don't have that trust, which is the component in your relationship, whether you're looking at someone and saying she's attractive and you feel like your person's gonna just bail out on you, then obviously you're with the wrong person, you know. So that's my perspective on
Man, I do need to get that bomb dropping thing because you are certainly dropping bombs.
Thank you, brother.
That's certainly what you talk about is certainly a certain level of maturity that really has to come. It really has to come.
I mean, brother, it's just like I'll use the high heels or whatever the shoes my sisters like to wear in the show. It's just like a shoe. If someone is meant for you, they will fit perfectly. There'll be no forcing, no struggling, no trying to get another shoe off the rack to try to fit you. When it's the right shoe, it's going to fit you. And me and my wife would just have this understanding that she just trusts me, True love is freedom. She doesn't have to persuade me to want to spend time with her. She doesn't have to persuade me to be honest with her. She doesn't have to persuade me to be loyal to her. I just give that to her freely, and she gives that to me freely. Most people in dysfunctional relationships, you got to force them. Oh, why you ain't call me? You're supposed to call me at this certain time. Oh, why you looking at that woman? You're going to go talk to her. Obviously, deep down, you don't trust that person to think like that, So that's what I talk a lot about in my book. If you don't have freedom in your relationship, knowing that this person is high integrity, then you need to reevaluate the relationship and you need to work on doing a better selection.
But doesn't that go back to building a foundation? Because she just doesn't trust you and you don't just trust her. That was a period of getting to know each other, being transparent, being realistic, communicating. When you have people that say they're in a poly relationship, well, if I'm monogamous and you're poly, well, that's obviously not going to work. Like you said, it's not going to fit together. Those aren't two shoes. I'm not going to be able to change your mind and you're not going to be able to change, whatever. So I think the communication and being open and honest and transparent with your partner would stop a lot of the confusion in relationships. Like Aisha was talking about, you're this free person, but you're not honest and you're destroying people, presenting like you want a relationship, presenting like you're honest and you want to spend the rest of your life with this person, but really you're trying to smash the chocolate chip cookies. And then you move on. And then when you're ready to settle down, now you're paranoid and you're insecure because you feel like people are going to do that same thing to you. It's just a vicious cycle without communication and building a foundation.
Well, this is why I always state like logic can't override the emotions. 90% of communication is nonverbal. A lot of people, when they first meet someone, they just go off the talk. They just go off the, what is this person's going to say? A true person's game is logic. And everyone thinks at the beginning of the relationship, someone should just be automatically transparent and honest. I think it's up to the individual to see what that person's agenda is, to really figure out what's their motive. It's just like a game of football. You play defense just enough to see if that person is on your team. You just don't let them overstep the boundary just because they handsome or they fly. And that's what me and April did. We took our time to get to know each other. Like you and I, Nicole, we talk a lot about the 3 DBDS zones that you and I came up with. And at the beginning, this is why I tell people during the friend zone that I talk about in my book, the first zone, the friend zone, do not sleep with that person, because once you sleep with them, sex clouds everything. And like I said, 90% of communication is not verbal. You have to take your time to get to know someone. You got to be in that kitchen, taking your time to cook that meal to get those different ingredients. Is this person consistent? Let me add a little salt of consistency. Is this person follows through with his word, has high integrity? Make it the pepper, the integrity pepper. You have to be on point with that 90% nonverbal communication. And that's going to be the key to determine if you want to take it to the next relationship level with that person.
Between all of this, I hear a lot about honesty in having goals, right? I mean, this is what I want, whether you like Nicole said, whether you want a poly relationship or you want a monogamous relationship. If people come into this, and Aisha said it as well, that you come into this, we're not taught certain things, and then you said, Mel, that you're just looking for sex, right? I think I wrote down that's the first thing you just want. So if you're not looking for this mature relationship, right, you're just looking just to sow your royal oats, have all the cookies you want with sprinkles of walnuts, and
or M&Ms.
Or M&Ms, or whatever pieces of chocolate, or whatever else is going on in there. What else? Macadamia nuts and all this other stuff. If you're looking for all that type of thing, and you're not being honest with the person that you're, I mean, it really comes down to honesty. Am I right? Knowing what you want, being honest about
everyone's going
that.
to be honest. Not everybody's going to be honest. This is why I
Right.
always tell people, never let your like the emotions override the logic, because truth is, no man, I'm sorry, no man is going to come up to a woman and be like, hey, you know, I just want to smash it. That's it. If a man was to be that straight honest, women with standards, you know, will of course go in the opposite direction, which they should if they're looking for a serious relationship. So this is why guys put on, certain guys and women put on the facade to be a representation of themselves in order to try to run game to get the benefits within that particular person.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's up to the individual to figure out what their agenda is. Is it financial gratification? Like, in other words, is this person all about money? Is it just sexual gratification? They just want what's downstairs and not what's upstairs in my mind? Is it, you just have to be able to use logic. To me, is high emotional intelligence. And just like in Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he said in his book strictly, if emotions goes up, intelligence goes down. I'm going to repeat, if emotions goes up, intelligence goes down. And a lot of people get so caught on how deep this guy's voice is, his tattoos and motorcycle, and they think it's handsome, and they get caught up and they sleep with that person, and then they get more emotionally attached with that sexually transmitted energy. And this is what happens when they go across that threshold, and sometimes no coming back because they're so attached, and that other person is getting all the values and benefits in the relationship, and the other person is getting very little. It's an unexchanged intimacy going on, and that happens a lot, especially with sisters out there.
You mentioned most sexually transmitted energy 2 times there. What do you mean by that? Define that for us.
What I mean by that is that whenever you sleep with the wrong person, and I'm a very spiritual person, that energy of that person is going to go inside that individual. This is why sometimes I believe, my personal opinions, while some women still think about a guy and they know he's a bum, they know he's a loser, but they still constantly think about him because literally he is in their body. His energy is in his body. Because I truly believe that we are energy. This is why I talk a lot about feminine natural essence and masculine natural essence. So when that happens, sometimes that sexually transmitted energy could be even more devastating than the physical aspects itself. I deal with people that are still dealing with losers 10 years, not married, and missing out on opportunities from good men out there, all because of that sexually transmitted energy. So that's my opinion.
Or soul tie. That's something else people call it, is soul ties.
They call it soul tie. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, Coco, no.
Yeah, she knows what I'm talking about. Yeah.
That's
she
my
also,
niece.
she also had another good comment. She talked about well, I'm about to start wearing slippers because none of these shoes are fitting.
Me too, girl.
You can't give up out there. You can't give up. You can't give up. It's in the meantime, it's just like you got to do the work on self. You know what I mean? Like when you're working on self and you're healing yourself and you're really wanting something to manifest in your life, I really feel like the focus has to be not about the experiences, but about the healing. You know what I mean? Like I think if we get caught up in the devastation of, when things don't work out, we have to go back and reassess. Okay, what happened? You have to kind of talk about, you have to do what Mel is talking about. Look at what happened in the beginning, those early phases. What really happened? Did we really set a foundation here, or was it like we were so giddy and into each other that, we found ourselves doing things probably prematurely? Or probably just like in a place where you could do things prematurely, and then you really get to know somebody like 3-4 months later, you're like, I really don't like them. You're like, what happened?
Does this cookie have walnuts?
It's because you
does this cookie have walnuts?
Yeah, does this cookie have walnuts? Wait a minute, I bet it needs some M&M. Right?
I need some milk with this cookies because this is not happening. This is not happening.
I don't like that at all.
Listen, I have to say, you got to be accountable with self. I know a lot of times there is things going on with men. Speaking from a female's perspective, there is things definitely going on with men, but we have to have some sort of level of accountability with ourselves, and really taking responsibility for our choices going forward. You know, because the ultimate love is self-love, but no, the ultimate love is godly love. But when when God is loving you and you're loving yourself even more, like there's certain things that may happen that it just don't penetrate the same anymore.
Yeah,
Penetrate.
very well said.
Good
And
word.
I mean, my thing, and I'm glad you just stated that, holding
Penetrate
yourself
the cookies.
accountable. Penetrate the cookies.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm glad you said that, Aisha, because that's the thing. I mean, it's not all on just the brothers. It's also on the sisters as well. I mean, you have to hold yourself accountable based on the selection you make. And when I say hold certain brothers accountable, that's about setting standards, conduct, and integrity. It's not about moving into relationships or situationships with brothers until those standards are met. And I think the perfect time to hold brothers accountable is not after your joy has been taken from you or after a dozen men has sampled your chocolate chip cookies. It's about telling a brother who said he's not that you're a lady and this is your standards and this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a man that's loyal. I'm looking for a man that's dedicated and so forth. Because you carry yourself like a cheap thrill, then that's how the man is going to treat you, like a cheap thrill. But if you carry yourself as a classy woman, as a classy lady, then yes, you will begin to run away those losers out there, and those quality men will start to gravitate towards you.
I think that's an excellent point there. I mean, I think that both sides both men and women need to really kind of just carry themselves and demand what you want. You know, it's just demand what you want. So if you're a lady and you're just going to let everyone just sample the cookies, and I think that's what you're going to get, and that's what you're going to attract. Yeah. And I think the same thing for men. People have always talked about the pants sagging type of thing, right? And my mindset has always been, listen, if women weren't talking to these dudes whose pants are sagging, they wouldn't sag their pants. I mean, eventually they're going to stop. If they start holding up and believing in their own standards, then they would go after those type of people, right? So I think it's really about standards and holding yourself accountable and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, brother.
Absolutely. So how do we get people to do that type of thing, right? To look at their self-worth and say, listen, I know that people want to run around. I know that there's another woman over here. Again, it's about self-control, but sometimes it's about it's controlling yourself, yes, but sometimes you got to have that self-worth about yourself to say, I'm more than a cheap thrill. I'm more than a cheap thrill. Even though, and a lot of times we're dealing with families who are broken homes and fathers aren't there and nobody poured into them. As we talked about before, the culture was wrong, culture was off, and now you got all these crazy issues. You saw your aunts and your mother and all these people running around here and hanging out, coming home drunk and from the clubs, and every weekend the walk of shame, and so now they think that this is normal and natural and it's okay. I mean, what do we do to kind of stem that tide? I know we're all a little more seasoned in our 40s and stuff, but if we're talking to people in their teens and 20s, how do we get them to realize that they have more self-worth than what they're putting out there and letting everyone taste the cookies?
Shows like DBDS. We have to be able to share our knowledge and our experience and our wisdom, because the sad thing is, of course, you should be accountable for yourself, right? Of course, you should love yourself. Of course, you shouldn't fall into generational curses. But if you don't know that there's a problem, how are you supposed to fix it? Mm-hmm. A lot of people are happy being the way that they are, and they think that it's normal. And society has a part to play in that. If it's normal for men to cheat, okay, so women are like, okay, well, men cheat, that's just what happens. And now we're in this generation or this period of time where women are adjusting to make that normal. Before the show, I was listening to a song, Queen Naji, I can't pronounce it.
Oh, yes.
But she has a song out called Lie to Me. And the lyric, it says, love me good and lie to me. Don't want broken promises, don't want no apologies, as long as you don't see anyone that I hang with. So you're normalizing. It's okay to cheat on me. I just don't want to know about it. It's okay to cheat on me. I just don't let it be any of my friends. Like, basically, don't embarrass me. Like a don't ask, don't tell type of situation. So if society is saying that's okay, that makes it harder for us as elders to teach anybody anything. It's just a very tangled web to get through.
I had not heard that song. And then you got that song, What's the name of that song again?
Lie to Me.
Lie to Me. And then you got WAP. I mean,
Oh,
which
God.
we all know about, So,
WAP
You
again.
love talking about WAP. I'm telling you.
And we ain't talking
That's
about
what
worship
I'm-
and prayer, people. We ain't talking about worship and prayer.
Get the oil.
yeah, no,
Worship
I'm not
and
talking
prayer.
about worship and prayer. I mean, I'm
Very good.
not talking about that.
Only
just
when I was
playing.
talking.
Why would you
man.
just assume that I enjoy talking about WAP all the time?
You do.
You bring it up a lot.
Thank
Do
you.
I?
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you. Thank you.
May I have a
No,
drink?
I'm not gonna even go deep there. I'll just throw
Maybe.
it right there.
Maybe I'm still in an immature stage where I never talk about that. Maybe I haven't grown up yet to give up that
Silly
Give up
rabbit
talking
tricks are
about-
for kids.
silly reference for kids.
Too funny.
man.
That's too funny.
I had never heard that
Right.
song. Marlene says I hate that song.
Oh man.
Okay, respectful cheating. So that's really what the lyrics were saying, is that
Mhm.
I don't care what you do as long as I don't know about it and stuff.
Love me good and lie to me.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Man.
That's a new thing, and I think with the mind of women, I want to say that I've heard a few women.
That's the song.
Why's it gotta be secretly, Zakia? Why's it gotta be secretly? Why's it gotta be secretly?
Because you just denied it. What do you mean?
I just said I will talk about it all the time.
Oh man. Love
Go
it,
ahead,
love
Aisha.
it.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's okay. That's okay. People are really knowing. If they watch the show, they know.
Do I really bring it up a lot?
We try to say that for afterwards.
Drink.
Come on, Captain.
Oh,
Come on,
man.
Captain.
Let me
Come
just.
Cheers, y'all.
Here's the goal. I'm out of this one. I'm just.
Oh my god!
You guys gonna have me tipsy. You guys gonna have me tipsy.
Right?
No.
I think
No, I wish I would have brought a drink. You guys are just sipping down stuff, man. I do it all the time.
I got tea. I got tea.
Yeah,
You see
Yeah,
me
you
with my
do.
head like this. My head.
Sorry, I'm being silly. But what I was gonna say is that sometimes I think now there's like this. I think it's been going on for a while, but with women, because men do it, they're doing it too. That double standard is real. Women don't want to be held into a box of, I just got to be this type of woman. Okay, y'all need to do a WAP. Yeah. Oh God, it came back up. See? He loves this. He loves this right here.
Listen, I didn't write that. Somebody else wrote it. I just put it up there.
You want that WAP energy. You want that WAP energy.
For the audio, somebody says y'all need to do a WAP counter. I can't rap, but maybe some rap artists out there needs to do something on the other side. As far, I don't want to go into that. Go ahead.
Okay. Yes, you do.
Had. I do. Yeah, you're right. I do.
Can we talk about the double standard though? Like with
I want
women?
to talk about the double standard. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, please. The double standard. There is a double standard that exists. Women cannot, do the things that men have a tendency to do as far as the way we date. It is known that women are supposed to date differently. If you do date how men date, you consider to be,
According to it.
derogative names, you know what I mean? So, I just think that is worth talking about, and I think that women kind of operate in that fashion because, people get tired.
Okay, so they're operating in that fashion, trying to do the same things, but are they emotionally happy? Are they physically happy? Are they?
They might be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's some women that's like, hey, I'm winning out here with this behavior. So there's some women that don't care. Like, yeah, I don't think that they understand how it impacts them. I think men and women are impacted differently, but I think there's some women out there that's very satisfied with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then they are winning. So
They will get labeled though.
Well, I mean, what does it matter if they're winning though, right? I mean, if you could label me what you want, but I'm still winning at the end of the day, right?
I know, but the double standard exists. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
Well, there's going to. I'm not denying that.
Why is it going to? Why?
Because I think that's the way that. It's a good question. I think that's just the way that people kind of operate, and people want well, first of all, the standard I would assume is that, you know, we want a nice, chaste woman to be good motherly, wifely material. I think that everybody wants that. And I'm not saying that men shouldn't be that good husbandly material. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying that it's been more forgiven that for the men to do it than for the woman to do it. And so no matter what happens in life, if I'm going to have a relationship with someone, I want to be able to walk into a restaurant, to a store, and know that this woman is a good woman, upstanding, smart, intelligent, loyal, all that kind of stuff, and it has the ability to raise my kids. And that's what I want. That's what I want and looking for in a woman. And so that I don't think that should change at all.
I got a question about though, but does a woman who has a lot of sexual experience make her not a good woman? That's where the standard comes in. So if a woman is promiscuous and she's doing her thing and the man is doing the same thing, the woman is viewed as destroyed or, you know, a garden tool, like you said, and the man is just a man. Does that make him any less of a good man?
I actually think it can make him less of a good man. And the reason that I say that is because I think that if you're out there doing that, again, to Mel's point, you could be bringing home diseases, all these different attachments that you've created. Maybe, hopefully, you don't have a bunch of kids all over the place. So I think that can certainly destroy your ability to be a good husband. I think that it can.
It's a reflection, man. I mean, you know, for man, you know, for me, it's all about integrity, you know, and I'm not knocking the other relationships out there. I just want people to live their truth, you know. If you're the kind of sister or brother, you know, into the poly type relationships, then fine, just do you, you know. Or if you're the type of a man that want to remain single, then do you. Just don't run game on people and misuse them for your own pleasure, for your own benefit. I think that's what it really boils down to. Like, with my belief, monogamous relationships are the best because I feel like a 2-parent household has been proven that a child can live more of a productive life. That's just my point of view on that. And just to piggyback on the quote earlier, as far as like what we can do to like really help the youth out there, I personally think since society is corroded, I think we should start teaching media literacy in elementary school, all the way up to college. I think we should have more programs like yours as well as DBDS to get the word out there. Because it's like the only way we're going to be able to combat all of this negativity in our society is to come out with something better. You know, right now, all this corroded society, to me, it's like a played out version of Pumas, but we can come out with positivity with a brand new Nike that will overcome that Puma. You know what I'm saying? That's the best way to get the message across to the youth out there, to come out with that mindset with something better. And why would this be better compared to the WAP and all this other undervalued system going on right now?
I got you. I think that's a tough sell. I think that people are always going to, for whatever reason, gravitate towards negativity. And maybe I'm pessimistic about that.
It's easier, isn't it? It seems like it's easier to be negative than it is to be positive.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Yeah, I know you guys are talking about it all the time. I've done shows about the N-word and stuff. And I've given up on that. Because I don't think that it's going to change, you know.
Well, brother, I mean, if we could change one person, I mean, change me. I mean, I should know coming from the hill. I mean, coming from the hood. It changed my whole perspective just because you're from the hood. Like, see, my whole thing is like, Bill Gates said it best with one of his quotes. He was stating that it's not your fault if you are born broke, but it is your fault if you die broke. And I just flip it around with relationships. It's not your fault if you was raised in a family that didn't teach you how to have these great values, but it is your fault if you choose to continue to live that way. That's where the accountability comes into play. I mean, when I started getting older, I started surrounding myself with, you know, good role models. I was going to the YMCA. I was going to the Q House. I started surrounding myself around people with healthy relationships. So I just think if we keep on drilling, it can get out there. It changed my life for the better. And now I'm happily married with love as freedom, you know, so it can happen. I mean, it is a tougher sell. I do agree with you.
You gotta want it. You gotta want it. It's something that's inside of you.
And we need the majority teaching and not the minority teaching. So it's more people that are negative and pushing, do what you want to do, live your life free, do your, YOLO. I know that's old, but if you have more people in society and TV and videos and music, if that's what you have, like when you were talking about media literacy, that's not real. If the kids don't know that it's not real to live that way, then they're going to grow up wanting to do that. So I definitely agree with Mel. Media literacy needs to be taught by the masses.
Yeah. No, that's certainly encouraging. Thank you for that. That does encourage me, because like I said with the N-word, I was like I'm not gonna talk about this anymore.
Giving up. Think about it. Let's keep it real. It targets a certain group of people. Like it
targets us, and as we just said, the minority, as you just said, the minority is controlling the majority, right? It's in our songs. Okay. It's in our TV shows sometimes. It's in stand-up routines, and this is targeting us. So it's and I always hate when people say, the white man's doing this and the Jewish people are controlling the music. Well, we're buying the music. We're making it. Stop making it. Stop buying it.
We make it popular by buying it, right?
Yeah, stop doing all that, So
yeah, it's true. I was watching on USA. I was watching that show, Ms. and Mrs. It's a reality show about this wrestler and his wife, and not one show him infidelity. Not one show that he's raising his voice. They were just arguing about turning up the radio. I turned to one of our reality shows, and we're cheating and we're drinking. We're just wilding out. I see I see the different images of how they keep us divided.
Right.
We have to start reversing that trend.
Yeah.
And
so
go ahead. No, I was just gonna say, just to piggyback on what everyone was saying, that as far as the influence that we can have and the power that we can have, I think the power starts in how we speak and approach these situations and these influences, not only over the young people, but even over us. And I say that to say that media has a big influence over the things that we digest, but it's something powerful when in our homes we can exhibit a certain type of love and a certain type of behavior for people to mimic. And that's the thing, because if you raise a child where they're exposed to all these different outlets of influence, but in your home, you're spending the most time with them, you're kind of talking, spending time and dialoguing with them and really dealing with those things that are even uncomfortable and that you can't even understand because it's not of your generation, but you make a conscious effort to understand. That's when you see the masses change. Because think about it like this. We're on a platform right now. All we need is that one show to be able to go viral, to penetrate so many people that boom, the message is sent. You know what I mean? So we can't give up. You know what I mean? We just got to up the ante in our approach with everything. So, so it really goes back to what type of human am I? What am I doing?
Right.
Am I giving enough? Am I giving enough of myself to my people, to a cause, to any cause, to people, to really deal with a need that's out there? You know what I mean? And I think that sometimes it's so easy to get into a zone, you know what I mean? Because of our own things that we kind of deal with and we're heavy with or whatever. But we always got to think higher than where we're at. There's always somewhere greater to reach. But it's just a matter of getting to that mindset to be able to do it. That's my skill.
That's true. Yes, very true. Yeah, we need a bomb on the show, man. You need a bomb, man.
Listen,
I'm gonna send you a bomb, Captain Hunter.
Nicole, you gotta hook him up, Nicole.
I got you.
So Zakiya said, case in point, this is go back a little bit here. Uncle Snoop Dogg, king of suck on these nuts, said WAP was too much.
Yeah. That's what you was laughing at when Mel was talking.
I was trying to. I was reading the comments, and that was just too funny.
Yeah.
So
king of suck on these nuts. Okay, go ahead.
187.
So Yeah, I guess
know
that was a double standard type of thing where he said all this, sucking his nuts and this, that, and the other, and next thing you know, WAP is too much, which I thought was ironic. I didn't know he said that, but I thought that it was ironic that other people were saying, "Oh, this is too much." But you go back in the history of different crazy songs that the men have made, and it's been all good. These have been top tart. They're playing them in the clubs, and they've been chart busting hits and all that kind of stuff. But a woman makes a song like that, it's everybody's clutching their pearls and ready to shut them down, and ready for congressional hearings or whatnot.
Well, my neck, my back, is that really? I think the difference is that's songs like that. It was one of many, and now it's a whole lot of songs about
exactly
things. And less about relationships and love and
It
was a variety back then.
Are they even making relationship and love songs nowadays? I don't even know. Are they even doing that any time nowadays?
Nah, Kanye West did a Jesus song set. No, I'm just playing.
I'm a Google it. I mean, relationships to what the standard is today. Songs, yes. Relationships, what older folks, maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think they get as much radio play. That doesn't,
Exactly.
And if you listen to Cardi B, she said the exact same thing. She said, "If I make a song like this, nobody's going to play it." So again, it's not just them. And I heard her say this. It's not just them making. They're going to make what's popular, what people are going to buy. So that's what we have to change people's hearts and minds.
I honestly think that they're pawns in the game to an entirely different. I think it's the system. I think they're just pawns.
I agree with that. But
we have to come after the system, not, they're just pawns in the game of chess, brother.
They just want to make money. I think. I don't really think they care what effect they're having on society. Because Cardi B even said in an interview she wouldn't let her daughter listen to WAP, but it's okay for my daughter to listen to it.
Exactly. Well, that's my point. Is all of our daughters, we have to get together collectively and say we're not going to allow this into our homes, into our places. Right. That's the place that I would come from. People are going to make the music. They're going to say the N-word. They're going to do whatever else negative out there. But we have to develop this culture about ourselves and say we're not going to partake in that. And that's the issue that I have. Stop blaming other people and saying they're putting it out there or these people that are doing this.
Right.
Take responsibility for ourselves. Just like you said, Mel. You grew up. You might have been born this way, but this is not the way that I'm going to turn out. Somewhere along the line, you have to have a change of heart, change of mind, and change of culture, and change of mind, and say I'm not going to do this. So it has to give up that way, come that way. And Zakiya says, never give up on affecting the world positively, even if you only affect a few. So
amen.
I would certainly be
very true.
Thank you.
I unfortunately have to run, so I want to give you guys a chance to tell us what time you're on and what you got going on. I know Sister Nicole is a supermodel extraordinaire. You've been doing commercials.
Love her.
Yes, I've been in 2 commercials, 16 magazines so far. I'm kind of doing backup to DBDS, but I want Mel to give his spiel because DBDS Live is an amazing show where you can get that positivity. Any information that you need, go take it away, Mel.
Yeah, I mean, so tune in every Sunday from 4 p.m. Eastern time to 5 p.m. Eastern time. Talk about a whole list of different relationship topics. Yes, Nicole, she is my DBDS sister. She's holding things down on the back end. We got my sister Gianni. She's the co-host. Just tune in. It's a lot of, it's educational but entertaining at the same time. So trust me, tune in, and I guarantee you will get a gem on that show.
Can we see the mug one more time?
You guys, so you guys, are you selling those mugs and merchandise and stuff?
I sold out already, but I'm going to get more in.
Very good. I'm going to make sure I pick one up. Very good.
Thank you, brother.
You guys, please check them out on Facebook, please. And thank you so much for listening tonight. We really appreciate you guys. If you guys have any thoughts on topics that you want to hear us discuss or talk about, please let us know. And also, please share the page, Messy Entanglements. And that's the platform that we are able to be seen on Facebook Live, on Instagram. I'm sorry, not Instagram, YouTube as well. And please check out DBDS. They do have a dating website if you are interested in connecting with singles, that you can do that as well as listen to their weekly Sunday podcast. We love you guys. I'm so glad that your energy is here on this great Wednesday night. I hope that we can revisit this again, maybe like a summer splash or something. But I would love to connect with you guys again on this platform.
Absolutely.
And Mel,
And-
you want to say one more thing? Sorry.
Absolutely. And if you want to hear more about chocolate chip cookies, make sure you pick up the book. Dear brothers, dear sisters, listen up. Nah, I'm just joking. But if you want to know more about great relationship tips, it's not just for singles, it's for married people. If you want to learn all these different ways to become a better version of yourself, invest in yourself. Make sure you get that book, please. And I greatly appreciate the support.
You can get that on Amazon. Dear brothers, dear sisters, listen up.
Very good. Okay, it's on Amazon and is it on an ebook as well?
Yes.
Very good. Very good. Make sure you guys pick that up. I'm going to pick it up because Lord knows I need that. Anyway, so we will. Yes, you guys definitely have to have you guys back. I will make sure I check my calendar, make sure I don't have any other appointments. And
This was fun.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys are always welcome, and we love you guys. And always good information you guys gave. Very, very encouraging. Thank you so much for coming on. Keep up the good work. And follow you guys on Instagram. You guys are both on Instagram, right? I know Sister Nicole is.
Don't worry, I'm going to drop all of our handles right under in the cast.
All right, y'all. Much love and peace, everyone. Take care. Have a good night.
Thank you for having us.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.